What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Pac-12 football channel. Our 2019 college football schedule previews continue with the USC Trojans. You can see their schedule on your screen. A disappointing season last year, just 5-7. A lot of USC fans seem to want Clay Helton out of there based off of the comments that I've gotten on my videos. It seems like most USC fans, I would at least say, are ready for a change. We'll see if they can turn it around this year. This is a team that I think could be really good offensively. A lot of weapons at receiver, some really good backs. JT Daniels back at quarterback for his sophomore season. I think he could take a big leap. And offensively, again, I think USC could be one of the better teams in the Pac-12. Defensively, there are some question marks. They did lose some key guys, especially in the secondary. So we'll see how that plays out. But looking at the schedule, it's kind of strange. You could look at this in one way and say, well, there aren't a ton of really tough games. This schedule is not that bad. But then you can look at it the other way and say there aren't any easy games. And there are no breaks on this schedule. It's a brutal stretch, really. And I tend to lean more towards that. I respect these types of schedules. You don't have to have 3 top 10 teams on your schedule. But if you go through and play at least a quality opponent in every game, to me, that is a more impressive schedule. And I think USC's schedule is very difficult. They open up with Fresno State, tough group of 5 team. Then they face Stanford on the road at BYU. That could be a challenge. Then they face Utah, at Washington, at Notre Dame. Then it's Arizona, at Colorado, Oregon, at Arizona State, at Cal, and UCLA. So again, this is a difficult schedule. Their toughest games, I think, are going to be Washington and Notre Dame on the road, and then Oregon. Those are the 3 teams that could be, potentially top 10, top 15 type teams. After that, Utah could be a top 15 team. So yeah, this is a difficult schedule, even though they don't face, actually they do. They potentially do face 4 top 15 teams. We don't know for sure where all these teams are going to land and how good they'll be. And you look at their matchups out of the North, they play Stanford, Oregon, and Washington, arguably the top 3 teams out of the North. So yes, this is just a difficult schedule. We go through normally and green the games that I think are automatic wins or almost guaranteed wins, games that they should win fairly easily. And you go through this schedule and you can't find one. There are none. Oregon State's not on the schedule. We would normally maybe green them. Colorado, maybe, but that game's on the road, so I don't think you can give them a win in that game either. So this is, again, a challenging schedule, a schedule where they're going to have to bring their A game every single week. I think you look for a projected win total of anywhere from 5 to 10. I realize that is a very large margin, but it is because of this schedule. I don't normally have a margin that wide, but it's because every game on this schedule, they could win and they could lose. Seriously, they could lose to anyone on the schedule, and I think they could beat anyone on the schedule. Notre Dame is going to be tough, especially on the road, but it's a rivalry. If USC is a little bit better, then maybe we think perhaps that's a win for them. They played them tough last year, but playing on the road, that does make that a pretty difficult game. Washington has a lot of new faces. That's going to be a difficult game on the road, but perhaps they'll have a chance. And again, Utah, Washington, Notre Dame, Oregon, those are the 4 toughest games in my opinion. I think best case scenario, you split those games, you win 2 of the 4. Or perhaps you win 3 out of the 4, but then slip up somewhere else, because there, again, are plenty of opportunities for them to slip up. Some Oregon State, Cal road games, BYU on the road. So there are plenty of opportunities for this USC team to slip up. So that's best case scenario. I think 10-2 is possible. 9 or 10 wins, again, I think it's very possible. But on the flip side, you could lose all 4 of those games, definitely. You could lose to Stanford. You could lose to BYU on the road. You could lose to Arizona State or Cal on the road. Even UCLA, rivalry game at the end of the year. Chip Kelly is going to have that team a lot better this year, in my opinion. So I think if the defense does not play very well and they give up a lot of points, and they put too much pressure on the offense, then it could be a rough year. And I think they could miss out on a bowl game once again just because of the challenges in each of these games. Even Fresno State in the opener, that's not going to be an easy game. Fresno State is a very solid group of 5 team. Now, I haven't done a lot of research on the group of 5 teams yet, so I don't know what they have coming back, but I'm just assuming based off of what they've done in the last few years that they're going to be good. I think they will be replacing McMarion at quarterback, but So that may not matter. They still might be right back where they've been. So anywhere from 5 to 10 wins. I think 10 wins is more likely than 5. I think 8 or 9. If I was going to have to make a prediction, I think this team could get to 8 or 9 wins. 8-4 might be my prediction right now with this schedule. Maybe even 9-3. I don't know. But yeah, I'm expecting them to be pretty good, especially on offense. I think they'll be very good on that side of the ball. Defensively, if they can fill some spots there, USC could be right there in contention in the Pac-12 South. Utah, to me, is the favorite right now. USC might be number 2, though. And again, if they win that game, they get them at home, they could perhaps win that Pac-12 South. So that's my thoughts on USC and their schedule. Again, it's a difficult schedule in one aspect when you look at the fact that they don't really have any breaks, but then on the other side, there are plenty of winnable games. It's not like they got a bunch of, they may be favored in 8 of their games or 7 of their games or whatever. So a difficult schedule. We'll see how they manage it. Thank you for watching this video. If you're a Pac-12 football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in Pac-12 football, keep it right here.